Now, as we were saying, there's lots of preparations going on here at herstmonceux Castle for England's Medieval Festival, which starts tomorrow. And a great feature of the festival, as we've been hearing already, is the fighting. It's the fighting. And Fiona Boyle is here. She's commentator for the Medieval Siege Society. So it's all down to you. You're in charge of all the battles then, sort of thing, are you?
Well, I commentate on the battles. I work with the commanders of each of the armies. They have an outline battle plan, and then they work with their blocks of fighting men so that they can put on the most entertaining and demonstrative battle that we can for the public, showing all the different fighting styles that we can.
Talk about the detail in a second, but as a commentator, are you relaying what's happening to the crowd? You're keeping the crowd involved in what's going on?
Yeah, I'm commentating and pointing out things they might have missed. Certainly it's a big area that we're doing the battle on, so they might not always see everything. And explaining a few of the historical bits as we go along, talking about the weaponry, talking about the colours on the battlefield and what they mean, and then pointing out the different sections of the plot. Sometimes, I mean, obviously in 15th century England, we wouldn't be having microphones for the audience to be hearing the parley, where they discuss what actually the argument is all about. So it's my job to actually discuss, sort of feed that back to the audience so they can hear and follow what's going on.
So obviously there's some sort of outline or script, and you're following that and making sure that it all runs pretty much to time, are you?
Yeah, that's part of my job. The commanders, as I say, know what the rough outline is of the battle, because we're normally demonstrating something that's very specific, and we want to do lots of different sections to show really good different types of fighting, including maybe a battle of the champions or a particular bill block coming forward and doing a set piece. But a lot of the time, I mean, all of the work that we're doing is free fighting. The guys are trained in their own chosen discipline, whether they're short sword, long sword, the archers, or the pole arm experts, and they will come forward and they will show what they do in an unchoreographed way. So this is all real-time fighting that we're showing for people.
Crikey. So to be a commentator of this, you've got to know what's going on. So were you involved with the sieges and the fighting before you became a commentator?
I've been on the battlefield as a non-combatant, so I don't fight myself, for several years, and I've learnt how the battles sort of fit together and the sections and how it all works. And then I had a sort of short period where I worked with one of the older commentators to learn sort of how they then control the battle from the commentary position, although I'm actually walking about on the field with the fighters, and I gradually sort of got to know that, and then I was rather thrown in at the deep end when somebody couldn't make it one day, so just had to go in and get it, go for it. Yeah.
We're finding out, which is amazing to me, that loads of people that get involved with all these things and put on these fabulous displays at the England's Medieval Festival here, are doing it as a hobby. It's incredible to me. And you're the same, aren't you?
Yes, I am indeed, yes.
So how do you get involved? What's the reason for getting involved?
A love of history is what brings most people in. For the people that want to get involved with the fight work, obviously it's the adrenaline buzz and the interest. A lot of them come from martial arts backgrounds, some come from sport background, but a lot of people just are interested in what they're doing. Another thing is the live action role play that some of them come from. But when they come here, they all pick up on the history side, and then it's learning a different skill. There's a lot of variety. It's a hobby that just grows and grows, because a lot of people will start off doing one thing and will change tack, will learn a new skill. Some people go into then, rather than the battles, we also do a lot of living history work. So you'll see the campaign village around us, and that will be a lot of the people who maybe don't fight or will do a part of the fighting, but then will actually concentrate on the cookery of the period, or the sewing, or we've got blacksmiths and armourers and all sorts of people that do lots of different disciplines.
It's incredible. And it seems to me like the festival's growing. It seems an interest in medieval times seems to be growing, and people's interest in joining societies like that seems to be growing.
It is, absolutely. I mean, a big festival like this quite often will get a lot of people interested. This particular festival is where I started.
Right.
Actually, a few years ago, I came along to this festival just out of interest with my family, absolutely fell in love with the whole concept and joined up and have been doing it ever since, and growing and understanding more about the period that we do, the 15th century, and getting a lot of different skills. And my son's learning, he's now a squire. He's a squire for one of the commanders, and he knows how all the armour fits together and what he has to do and how he has to clean it, and he does all of that. He's not old enough to fight himself, but he's starting to learn the skills.
Fantastic. Give us a highlight for the weekend, something we should look out for, that you're going to be involved with, the thing we should really look out for.
Well, the battle, certainly the siege of the castle in the morning, is a fantastic experience. We have a glorious trebuchet, which is a siege engine, which will be throwing rocks at the castle to try and break down the door. There's a possibility, I'm told, that they might even be trying to batter down the door. Yes.
Battering the door down?
Battering the door down, possibly.
That sounds serious.
You never know. You never know. Though we have a group called the Sappers, who are like the Royal Engineers of the medieval army.
Okay.
They do all the logistics, and they do all those sort of those things. So they operate the trebuchet. But of course, just come and see the wonderful fight work that our guys are doing, guys and girls, I have to say, because we do have women as well. We have the marvellous archers to stand and watch volleys of arrows go over. You know, it's just phenomenal. Really is. It's an overall excellent experience for everybody. Everybody enjoys it.
Fiona, thanks very much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
This is East Sussex Today.